You know what's really fun, guys? When you record a whole pretty good amount of stuff and then you realize that your mic and your headset's not on the freaking recording software. So that's great. So let me get this laid out for you. So I started having problems with my computer, started crashing a ton when I was playing all the games that I wanted to record, like Daisy, CSGO, blah blah blah, Ark. And I would be playing them, be like, yeah, this is fun, and then after like 5 or 10 minutes, my computer would be like, nah, bro, you're not gonna have fun, and then it shuts down on me. Blue screens tells me that I have K-mode error, and then all this other stuff. System check, blah 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 blah. Don't really care about it because I kept testing it, and trying fixes, and they just didn't work. And so I was like, alright, so it's definitely something hardware. It's not like something just shutting down my computer for no obvious reason. So then I started testing my CPU and my RAM. Tested those. CPU I tested with about like 4 different things. I concluded that it wasn't it because the temp would never get at a weird level, and there was no other like CPU errors or anything. So then I was like, alright, must be RAM. So I started pulling out sticks of RAM. I have 4 sticks of RAM. Some, what is it, like HyperX RAM, something like that. 16 gigs in total. I pulled them all out except for 1 stick, and then I was testing it, and it seemed to be working. So then I added more sticks, and then when I got to 4 sticks, it stopped working. So I was like, alright, it's the RAM then. But then I reverted back to 3, and then it stopped working again. Then I reverted to 2, and it stopped working. Then I did 1, and it stopped working again. So I was like, alright, so it's definitely not the RAM, it's something else. So I went into Best Buy and went to like the geek people. I don't know if any of you guys have it around you, but there's like a geek squad. And that's what they're called. I'm not calling them that. I like computers and stuff like that. Not really geekish to me, but whatever. So I go in there with the power supply, and I'm like, alright dudes, test this, because I called in, and you guys said that you can test it. And they're like, alright, we got you. And then they pull out this little like handheld thing. It looks like almost like a flat cell phone, more like an iPhone-ish, but like thick. And they hook it up with the 24 pin, hook it up to the wall, turn it on. And all the voltage was good. So I was like, alright, so it's not my voltage running out since it's a 3-year power supply. And then they're like, what's your problem? I was like, alright, so every time I'm trying to play games or something, things keep crashing. And then they were like, what are you running? I said GTX 680, overclocked it a little bit, and then have a Intel i7 processor. And they're like, alright, so that shouldn't be running over 750 watts, which is what I have, a 750 watt. He said that's totally fine. It should completely work because you would need like a massive gaming computer to run over 750. He said I might have to have like an SLI cards and stuff like that, since mine's not like a super top of the line power eating hungry master race computer. And he's like, check your motherboard. That's the last thing that seems that could be wrong, or it's both your RAM and your CPU. And I'm like, I'd rather see if it's my motherboard. So he said check for coloration. He said sometimes the color will deform and all this other stuff, and then after you check that, then check for any like soldering issues. I need to take this stuff out. Check and see if any of the soldering melted off, and I was like, alright, I'll check that. And so I went into my computer and checked it out. No discoloration, couldn't find anything that was like off of my motherboard, but I was like, this has to definitely be it, unless it's just my lucky day and everything just went out on me. So I ordered a new motherboard. Probably it was like $100 or something, another Asus one, since that one lasted for about 3 years. I thought, you know what, might as well buy a new one. So it's completely new. I don't know the specs, but it's a motherboard. You don't really need much to it. You just need enough connectors for what you're using. And I did all that, ordered it in. Took about a week to get in since 4th of July. And by the way, I hope you guys had a good time with that. I was going to record some 4th of July on here because they added fireworks, like these firework flare guns. So that was pretty sick. I didn't get to see them though, sad face. So I'll have to just look that up on YouTube. And anyway, so I ordered that in. After about a week or so, it got in. It got in today. Well, yesterday. I'm recording this at like 3 AM right now. So once it got in, I installed it. Pulled it out of the box. Well, pulled it out of the box first before I installed it. And then looked into it, and I was like, alright, so this doesn't look very much different than my normal motherboard, but I'm guessing mine's wrong. Something's messed up. So I went and got the took out everything out of my computer, left all the wires like hanging out and all this other stuff. It was a nightmare. Getting it out was easy. I cleaned out my PC entirely of dust. It had a good bit of dust buildup since I haven't cleaned it in 3 years. So that was pretty fun. I just literally took like some napkins and just kind of blew out most of the dust that I could, and then just wiped down stuff with the rag. So then after I did that, I went on to pulling out that motherboard, setting up the little screws for the new motherboard, and put it in, got everything attached. I was like, alright, sweet. So now I pop in my CPU, I clean off the top of it with a paper towel and some rubbing alcohol, and then cleaned off my cooler part, the part that hooks on for a water cooler, the part that hooks on to your CPU. Clean that, and then I put the thermal paste on, and then I put down the cooler, and I was like, wait, why can I not reach the motherboard to be screwed in? And then I realized that I had to put this little like clamp thing underneath the motherboard. So that was freaking awesome that I had to take everything back out. I didn't disconnect everything because I was like, screw it, I can probably get it all out. So I just unscrewed my motherboard and then like lifted it out in a weird angle and then popped in the little screw thing. It was freaking weird. So after that dilemma, I finally got it put in, got my motherboard installed. I was like, yay. CPU put in place, yay. And then added my RAM, which is freaking easy. You just pop it in there and pretty much push it down until it clicks. And then added in my graphics card, pop that baby right in, slid the little lock thing on it, and then I was golden. I had every power supply hooked up, everything nice and smooth running. Closed it all up, and then I started testing it, and tested it on Prime 95, which if you don't know what that does, it pretty much puts the max load on your CPU and your RAM and like your whole system basically, and just pounds it with like a bunch of like random processes that it has to do. And when it gets done doing those processes, well, it's never stops doing it, but when it does stop, it loads up more processes for it to do to max load it out and see how long your system can last. Oh, and we're getting, okay, I thought my game was about to crash, but that's just dinosaurs loading in over here. So yeah, after running that, I ran that for about 3 hours and 30 minutes, and it was doing fine. My temps were all good, so I was like, alright, sweet, didn't crash like within 10 minutes as it used to with my old motherboard. And then hopped on here and was able to play for a couple hours straight with no crashes. Didn't have a crash yet, which is nice. Did have a crash, but that was when I was exiting the main menu, and I've read that that's like normal. That's normal. That's a nice voice crack I got there. So yeah, story time. There you go. That's why I haven't been uploading for like a week or two. This video should be coming out pretty decently soon compared to when I'm recording it right now. Ooh, does that have more? Nope. I'll take the 16 trank arrows though, and the parachutes. Thank you, thank you. We might actually just throw all these out so that this thing can freaking disappear. I don't need any of this. There we go. Alright, so there's my little dilemma type deal. I'm just gonna keep this stuff on me, I guess. So that's all I needed to really talk about. That's all I'm gonna talk about because I talked about that, and then I took out my Anklo, the armadillo. I should really just call it armadillo instead of armor. I spelled out armor like because it's armorized. But anyway, naming in this game, hardest part of taming. After taming something, you're just like, what do I call it? So yeah, is there anything else we need to talk about? I took my mammoth Big Bertha and my Anklo up here on this mountain that I'm about to pass over, and we just mined a ton of stuff, and I showed you guys that. It mines way more effective than a pickaxe. Well, sort of. It kind of does. And then you get more stone out of it as well, so that's nice for when you get the higher ranks, because you need that for cementing paste. And this is our allies. I used to play Space Engineers with this one guy. Don't know, what was his name? I know you're playing Space Engineers. What was it? Right now it's the Amazing Taco. What's his freaking name? But he's in that tribe over there, in that big base. What's his name? I can't even remember. I can't even remember what it used to be anyway. So that was a little flyby. I was just showing you picking up an airdrop, by the way. just instead of me running around opening up doors and stuff. So that's my whole dilemma. Whole story laid out pretty much. Here's Big Bertha. Nice mammoth, level 22. Got her at level 9. I need to go and make some, oh, I still got 100 metal in here. The hell? I've been holding out on myself. How much weight am I at? I cannot move at all. Alright, let's get in here. So, oh, I need to get hydrated as well. Didn't even notice I still had 100 metal in there. But I use that as my, like, pack mule. And plus it just knocks down trees in the way, so it's easier. So let's get back in here. So yeah, there's my base. It's way further away from where the old base used to be. So there's that. We got all our dinosaurs. I'll just run you through them right quick and then end the video here. So we got... Here, we're just going to change it to armadillo. Armadillo. There we go. Armadillo. That's what we'll call it. Like a southern person. Alright, so then we still got warlock. Oh, got a nice, nice little upgrade right here. We're going to upgrade its weight. So warlock's still going strong. Mama Tank's still going strong. Titan got killed by a guy's saber tooth. So that's not Titan. That's a new Titan. That's the evolved version of Titan T-Rex right there. That was pretty fun taming. Took about 200 trank arrows. Yeah, so that was absolutely amazing. We still got Sir Stings a lot going strong. Delta's going strong here. He's still alive. Still doing well. We do have all of our dilos, but we are still missing. We're missing one. We missed one on the way down here. So the journey was kind of hard. We got attacked by a lot of stuff. But the saber tooth that I have over here, Sheila, protected us pretty well. Only one dilo died because he got like killed by like a raptor that like ran up on it and just attacked it. And well, it might have been a few raptors. I can't even remember at this point. So we have them all mate boosted. It's pretty nice. And then we got Falcon or Argentavis that looks like a falcon to me. It's pretty nice. Tame. Probably took about 2 hours, an hour and a half. It wasn't long for that actually. And then we got Big Bertha out here. Already saw that. And Bitey 2.0, Bitey 1.0. Well, Bitey 1. It was just named Bitey. Got killed by a couple Megalodon when I crashed when I was trying to record this. So, yeah. Go crashing, yay, fun. Yeah, so that's basically the update. Let me show you on the map how far we came down actually after we ate all these. So, if we pull out our map here, let's zoom in here. So, we are currently at, where I'm reading latitude to longitude, so left and then bottom. So, we're currently at 8050, around there. And we came from about 2080, or 3080, yeah, about 3080. So we came down the whole coastline and then made it all the way around here. And this is where I set up base. Had some help from another guy in that faction over there. So that was greatly appreciated. He just flew over with his Argentavis and scouted ahead for me to make sure there was no T-Rexes or anything, because at that point my Sabertooth couldn't take them on. I do not believe. Yeah, no, he couldn't. So that's basically my whole rundown, whole update sort of deal. A little bit of episode put in here. You guys would have seen me mine all this metal and stuff, but sorry about that. Should show some taming or something soon in the next episode. I don't even know what I have planned for the next episode. We'll just figure it out when it comes along. Yeah, I might tame something because I got a bunch of drink arrows now. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next episode.